Hello guys, today we are going to start to create a new example session about how we can utilize the dictionary and the list data type in Python programming language for a specific reason or the purposes. Okay, and so in this lesson, dictionary, list, write, read, CSV data example can be given at this time. Okay, so we should be create some specific example that are using the what, the dictionary, list, or the some other function which is given in the what in the Python programming language. Okay, and so firstly x1, we need to know that we have a CSV class in Python programming language. In order to what? In order to create or write or read some data into the CSV file or Excel file. Okay? And so in order to use this CSV function or class, we need to import these things. And then we can create with open case in here like this one, test CSV, and in the right form as the what the test file can be given at this time. And so the field names or the some other names can be created as a list value. For example, the first field, second field, or third field. Okay. And so if you have this kind of list value to be written or to be wanted to be written on the CSV file, and so we can create the some writer function in here with the CSV dict writer like this one. And so we need to give the some specific path, test file, and field names with the field names. Okay. This is the title of the what the CSV file. Okay, and so this is the header file, which means that the writer can be written with the what the right header in here like this one. And so if we have this condition, and then the test.csv can be created in here. Okay. And so this the what, this is the header of our CSV file. Okay, and so we can put any data in here related to what the first field or the first column represents the first field, second, and third, the third field represents the what, the specific identities or the variables or the numbers or the storage data related to what, the third field or second or first. Okay, this is the first example related to Python session. Okay, in second place we can store some specific data by using the what, the test. For example, we can create the dictionary value in here like this one. For example, the age can be stored with the what, the 52, 41, 31, 48, and 61. Okay, and so in the dictionary values, the sex is related to what, female or male or male or these things. Okay, and the height value can be given with the what, with the 143, and this to 144, 154, 174, or 177. Okay, and so the weight can be stored with any list value in here like this one, 77, 66, 59, 53, 71, and 763. Okay, And so this is the R specific dictionary values to be stored in the what? In R the test file. Okay. And so in order to write any other test CSV file with the written operation, the out file can be given as a name, and so the writer is equal to the what? The CSV writer can be assigned this file, and so this writer can be used to what? The input output operation. In this case it's the written operation in here like this one, and so if I using this writer variable, and then we can transform the any information from the Python file to the what? To the test file. Okay. Firstly, we need to store the key list in here like this one. The list test.keys can be returned in here because our keys is a header of the CSV file. Okay. And so we should limit the whole key list, because if we have 5 keys in our dictionary values or variables, and then we need to create the 5 column. Okay. Or if we have the 4, and we need to create the 4 column in here. Okay. And so if we use these things, the right row, the test dot keys can be written on this page. Okay. And so if I run this code, the age, sex, height and weight values can be given at this time. Okay. And then we can create the sum for body in here like this one. For range, the limit is our limit, or the key number of keys, and so the right row function can be used with the what? With the test x and I is the what? The specific number of the what? The storage elements. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so these have the 6 elements. It's represented by the x. I is the what? The key values. And so we can create the 4x in key list can be given at this time. And so if I run this code, and then the test CSV 52, 24, 31, 47 can be stored at this moment. Okay. Or we can create the other limits in here, because the number of data is given in the format of the what? The 6 elements in here, but we should utilize only what? The 4 times, because we have a 4 key list in here. Okay. And so in order to solve this problem, we can easily change these things with what? With the 6. And so the test CSV 61 male, 177 and 70 and 63 pounds can be stored in our test CSV files. Okay. This is how we can utilize the dictionary variable in order to what? In order to create some proper or appropriate format of the what? The CSV file. Okay. And then if we have this information in here like this one, and so we can create some complex examples related to what? The students, and with its the notes which is stored in the what? In the some CSV data. For example, we assume that we have the student dictionary values in here like this one. For example, if we have the key of the name, which is the Mehmet, but you should remember that the whole data is given in the value form in here should be defined as in the list value, and so we can easily add or remove the elements from this list value, but key is the constant. Okay. And so the surname should also be contained in this case, İşcan, and the age should be given in here 30, and midterm 1 should be contained 100 dot, and midterm 2 is 100 dot, and the final grade is 100 dot, and general grade or the average values of the R nodes should be contained in this formation. Okay, this is the R specific structure to be stored the elements in the dictionary or the list value, but you need to transform all this information with a specific order to the CSV file. Okay, this is important. And so we should create the number of students in here, like this one, for example 100. In order to create some random names or surnames or age or nodes, we can utilize the import random class, okay, or we can utilize the name class in order to generate the random names or surnames. Okay, in order to use the CSV, we need to add the import CSV, and statistics may be used in our study because the whole class average values of the midterm 1, midterm 2, and final nodes may be useful for the teacher for the grading the students. Okay, and so this for library should be included at this time. Okay, firstly we should generate the 100 students with a random name or age. Okay, firstly we need to create the for loop in here, like this one. The range is equal to the range should be equals to the number of students. Okay, and so in the first place the assignments of the parameters should be created in here. First name can be obtainable from the names get first name function. This get first name function returns the the random name in the storage values. Okay, and so if we can call these names that get first name function, and then this returns to us the random name, for example John or Mehmet or Ali. Okay, as in the same way, and so the second name can be assigned to names get last name. Okay, or age param or parameters, we can call the random rand int function in here with the for example 18 to 23, and so this generates to a number with the internal of the 18 to 23. Okay, and so mt1 node random rand int function body in here 0 to 100, because it's the limited range of the to midterm 1. As in the same way, the mt2 node random rand int function 0 to 100, and final node can be given in the mt1 node dot 1 mt2 node times 0.3 and final node times 0.4. Okay, I'm sorry, this is the general grade node, and also we need to create the final nodes in here. Okay, final node. These are the general perspectives of the collective nodes in terms of midterm 1, midterm 2, and final node. we can change these coefficients in order to what? In order to as your way, okay? And so adding to dictionary these variables in each time, okay? And so firstly, student dictionary name parameter can be append with the what? With the first name, okay? And then student dictionary surname parameters append, because we can use the append because it's a list, and so the second name should be assigned. And student dictionary age dot append age param, okay? And we can copy off all of these things. Age should be changed with the mt1 node, mt3 2, and final append the final node, and student dictionary general grade append general grade node, okay? This is how we can fill the whole dictionary in terms of what the list value. You should remember that this name is unique in this case, but the append first name adds the list elements like this one. And so if we don't have any list operation or list constructor in here, and so this method does not work on this page, okay? After that, we can print the whole student dictionary values in here like this one, okay? And so if I run this code, and then each data can be given in here. First, the name is collective of the what? The Mary, June, Jennifer, Louis, Mark, and blah blah blah. Surname is the İşcan, Hurt, Harper, Taylor, Host, Edu, Hill, or Brossard. And then these are the other nodes of the what? Our parameters, okay? And so after that, we need to create some for loop again to what? The writing the whole data which is given in the what? The student dictionary values, okay? For example, our file with the name of computer programming notes.csv, which is in the written form as the out file, which is the R, the what? The R file operation in here. Firstly, just remember that we need to define the writer value in here like this one. Writer out file is a path or the open function body upstream variable to what? To write the whole data which is given from us, okay? And so the key list can be obtainable in the what? The list conversion of these things. The student directory and keys can be given at this moment, okay? And then the limit is equal to the what? The len key list, because it's the column values of our study, okay? And so if I have this condition, the right row can be called in here. The student dictionary keys can be written on this page. And so if I run this code, the test CSV should be deleted in here, and CP nodes is collection of the what? The name, surname, age, MT1, MT2, final, and general grade, okay? And so this is how we can create the header form in here like this one. For example, in the next stage, or if you are using any other platform by using the CSV files, and so this header form informs you to what this column is contained with the blah blah blah. For example, age or sex or what? Notes, okay? Or the counting balance, okay? But in another case, we need to create another for loop in here with the what? The number of students plus 1, because we have added the what? The first element as a Mehmet, İşcan, 30, blah blah blah, okay? And so if we have more 100 students in here, and so this range should be iterated with what number of students plus 1. Okay, and then the right row can be used in here with the what, with the list operation and the lambda operator in here. Student dictionary, X are the elements of the student dictionary, I is the range of the what the students or number of students can be represented by using the I, and then the for loop X in key list can be given at this time. And so if I run again this code and then the CP nodes can be given with a random number. For example, if we have this information in here, we have the 200 lines with a specific new line character. In the last character, Eddie Connor is with the age of the 22, and so the midterm 1 node 56, second is 100, and final grade is the 6, and the general average of his nodes is equal to the what, the 49.2. okay. And so these are the list to what, to inform the user of the teachers. Okay, but assume that, or suppose that if we have these CP nodes in these formats, okay. For example, a teacher create this CSV file with what, with the real notes, with the name of the James Cordier, blah blah blah. Okay, and so how can we read this operation? And so in order to read this kind of information, CP nodes can be given in the format of the what are, and as a read file can be defined in here. Okay, and so CSV reader can be defined with what, CSV dot reader, and so read file. Okay, and then what? If we have this kind of information in here, and so we need to create some specific list values to what, store the whole data with a specific order. Okay, and so we need to create the name list like this one, surname list like this one, age list, and MT1 list, T2 list, and final list, and general grade notes. Okay, and so how can we fill the whole CSV data into the what, into this list? Okay, firstly we need to create some counter in here like this one, because the first element of our CSV is a header, and so we should skip this header by using these terms. Okay, and so, and also we have some empty parentheses in here, or new line characters, and then we should remove also these terms. And so the for row in CSV reader, and then we should create the internal variable. Okay, list row. Row represents in this case the specific each row contained with the what, with the CSV reader nodes or the CP nodes data. Okay, and so we should convert the list into this row, because the whole row contains the what, the string elements, and then we should transform whole the row into the first list variable. Okay, and then in order to eliminate the empty space and the header file, we should use this body if the internal len variable not equal to 0, and the counter is not equal to 0, because if the counter is 0 and this is the first step, and then this is the header file. Okay, and so if I had these conditions in here, name list append can be used with the what, with the internal variable 0, which is the what, it's the name of our students. Okay, and so the surname list, the append can be used with the what, internal variable 1 value, and age list append with the what, this as a string value. Okay, and so in order to utilize the age value, and then we should convert firstly the float value in here, like this one, the internal variable 2. Okay, and empty1 list append should be utilized with the float internal variable 3, and this is equal to empty2, this is 4, and the final list value append float internal variable 5 and the general grade note list, general grade list can be given in the what, in the 6th elements of the internal variable. After that, the counter should be increased at this moment. Okay, and so in order to show these things like this one, the name list can be rewritten on this page. Okay, and so these are the list. Our name list can be given by like this one. And so this is the list of the what, the name. In the same way, our surname list, the surname can be rewritten in this page. Okay, surname İşcan or Mehmet, or what, the Dale Tolver. Okay, these are the what, the name and surname. And so how can we utilize the statistics in order to what, in order to process this data? And so general mathematical operations, firstly we should find the max min nodes in this class. So we can print the maximum node of empty1, and we can utilize the built-in function max empty1 list. And so also the final value should be included in here, empty1, and final list can be given. And so 100 is the highest point at each MT1, midterm 1, midterm 2, or final exam. Okay, or we can utilize the what, the minimum node of the what, MT1, MT2, and so this should be changed with the what, the mean value. And so the minimum node is the 0, or in this case 100, 201. And so in another example, the minimum node 1, 1, 0 at the final. And then how can we obtain the what, the average values of this node? Average node of MT1, which is directly related to what, the A, B, C nodes. And so the statistic toolbox can be used, the mean with the what, MT1 list in here, and MT2, and the final nodes should be utilized at this moment. Okay, and final list and MT2 list can be given at this time. And then what, the final maximum nodes and minimum nodes and the average points or the average nodes relates to MT1, midterm 1, midterm 2, and final is directly related to what? The 53 or 47 or 52 is the what is the represented by the final average notes of our students. Okay, and so these are the related to what the CP notes example at this case. Okay, and so this is how we can utilize the any CSV file in Python programming language, and so we can process the whole data, storing the list elements coming from the the CSV files. Okay, and so we can condition whole the data by using these terms. Okay, or you should remember that statistics have the many conditions in here, like this one. The mean is one function of these things, but we can utilize the standard deviation of MT1 can be calculated by using the statistic toolbox. Okay, stddev, this return value of the square root of the sample variance. Okay, and so it's the highly meaningful data to know what's the range of our points or the midterm notes. Okay, and so these are the final example related to what the CP notes in here, and so you can easily apply any data which is given in the CSV form by using this code structure, and so you can easily write any data and read any data, and so you can convert all the values by using these terms, and then you can easily apply some mathematical function or calculation by using these formulas. Okay, these are the end of session, and so I hope you have learned about what I'm talking in this lesson. Have a good day.